everybody. Welcome to Real Estate After Dark, episode 3. We're here with Tiffany with Welcome Home Inspections. She has been doing this forever. If you were looking to sell your house without a real estate agent or anything like that, she has the most essential tips, and we'll kind of walk you through the process right now. Tiffany, welcome.
Thanks for having me, guys. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Excited to be here.
Me too. This is long awaited. I've been super happy and excited to get together with you guys forever. So Welcome Home Inspections, this is a family-owned company?
Correct. Yes, it is.
Okay, and it's your family, right?
It's my family. Yeah, I started it. My dad was the first head inspector because he's the one with lots of years, I will say that nicely, of experience in construction and all that good stuff. And we saw a need here in the desert for a good home inspection company and reliable, honest.
Right.
So I took the opportunity to jump on that, and
Absolutely.
we really built something pretty cool.
That's fantastic. Yeah, you seem super thorough. Not too long ago, you gave a class at the brokerage, and I've talked to a couple other home inspectors, and they were just kind of nonchalant about it, right? Like they were like, "Oh, yeah, we can come through. The price is going to do most of the work, or whatever." But when you were giving your presentation, it was amazing. It kind of, I don't want to say it moved me, but I was like, "That's super informative. That was insane." When you do your work, obviously you take pride in it, and everybody you have working for you takes pride in it. What drove you to do home inspections?
So basically, there's a lot of home inspectors out there, obviously. The way I say it, anybody can do a home inspection.
Right.
The thing that sets us apart is that we care. We really try to inspect a home as if our grandmother was going to be living there, not just our mother, our grandmother, and we want to see what's going on with the house, and we want to give you a clear, honest picture of what you're buying. So a lot of home inspectors are afraid to get, down and dirty and find the things that, might kill a deal. Right. We're never trying to kill a deal, obviously, but we want our clients to know, what they're putting a lot of money into this.
Well, it's probably the biggest purchase of their life.
Purchase, for sure.
So you got to know what you're getting into.
You got to know what you're getting into.
From the top to the bottom. And
it's not always scary because not everybody knows homes,
Right.
So,
of course.
A minor crack in a wall and somebody sees that and they're like, oh, my house is falling down. Right. When it's purely cosmetic, no structural anything. Right. So we like to take that to educate.
That's great.
Clients. Yeah, and let them know, okay, this is what this is, what this could be or turn into, and this is how you can remedy that. Because every house has an issue. Brand new build, 50-year-old house, 100-year-old house, they all have issues.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, it's a house. It's set on a foundation on an earth that moves. So it's sure gonna happen,
and
right?
We're in California, right?
And we're in California, absolutely.
We're always rolling, yeah.
And interestingly enough, I read the other day that the cracks in the house might not be as big of an issue, or might not be an issue at all, because everything could depend. Even when the stucco was placed, the temperature of the weather that day, everything. It doesn't have to be an actual movement of the earth. Yeah. It could be how the time and the place it was put together.
For sure. Yeah, up here in the high desert, we see a lot because thermal expansion, right? It gets really hot and it gets really cold.
Right.
And we have those extreme differences during the same day.
Right.
So everything's moving, and so stuff will crack most of the time up here is nothing.
Right.
But, Sally doesn't know that. She sees it and, oh, my house, I can't buy this house. Right. So we try to go that one step and just explain how this happened, what it means, and is it a problem or is it just cosmetic?
And that's fantastic. So you're not only going for the deficiencies in a property, you're also giving more comfort to people who are getting houses to when they see things, and it's probably not as big a deal as you thought, or it is, and you need to get the fix.
Yeah, most of the time it's the first that you said. It's oh my god, but it's really not oh my god. It's definitely manageable most of the time.
That's very cool. Yeah. So walk me through a process. So you show up to a property. Obviously, you got to take a bunch of pictures and take a bunch of notes. How long does a typical home inspection take?
Well, for us, it takes about a normal home inspection up to 3,000-ish square feet will take us about an hour and a half.
Okay.
The reason for that is we send out a team of 2 always. So one of us attacks the outside, one of us attacks the inside. Literally roof to foundation. We try to put our hands on every accessible plug, outlet, switch, all the major stuff too, plumbing, electrical, HVAC. So we just kind of tag team the whole thing, document what we find, good and bad. And then put it all together. We usually say about an hour and a half in is a good time for a client to show up.
So you guys like to do it without the client there?
We don't mind.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter to us, but it's just like a lot of people, time is money, right? They don't want to sit there for 2 hours.
Ask you questions, and they're like,
depending on
why are you looking at that so long?
We've had all of that. But either way, like, we don't mind. It's just beneficial for us to get through the home.
Right.
And then explain to them what we found.
Okay.
Answer any questions they have. And, like, we can kind of gauge where they're at that point.
Right.
If that crack is bothering them or that, whatever's bothering them, and we could talk them off the ledge.
Got it.
Yep.
That's fantastic. Yep. So, and that's good, especially for people who are looking to sell their house on their own. If they don't need a realtor, they definitely should get a home inspector at least, right?
For sure.
Go through the whole thing, make sure all your stuff works, all the outlets work, all your smoke alarms are good to go, all the flue in your chimney works.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
You have to go through every little bit, right? Because the next person to come and buy the house, you don't want any issues.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing for us, too, is we want to keep everybody out of court.
Right.
So, ignorance is not, what do you say?
It's not bliss in this situation?
It's not, yeah.
Right.
So, the court doesn't care that, I never knew that wasn't functioning properly. Well, you own the home, you sold it, you should have known.
You should.
So, that's our job.
That's
our job.
You didn't know that light worked, really?
Keep everybody out of court, everybody happy, everybody on the same page, and moving forward, yeah. So, one thing, if you're selling without a realtor, I would highly recommend a pre-listing inspection.
Right.
We come out, we do the same thing we do for a buyer. You're black and white. Here's what you got. Here's what you don't. You hand that to prospective buyers. They really appreciate that.
Oh, yeah.
And that helps sell your house.
That could be great, especially if you don't lease with a realtor or you're like prepared.
Totally.
Then when the appraiser comes in, because for like certain homes like FHA and USC and stuff like that, there are certain things you can't have an unlivable
and we
situation.
would be able to tell you, you're not going to be able to accept this type of loan. You're not.
And then your report also lasts through, like you're getting ready to list, your report lasts through X amount of time.
Definitely, yeah.
Which is fantastic. Then you know what you're getting into. It's kind of like a safety inspection.
It's almost, so we have a whole program for pre-listings, and it's almost like a Carfax. Like,
great.
You know what I mean? Like, here's what's going on with the house. House facts.
We're going to have to trademark that.
For sure, yeah. Like, totally. So it's like a whole program. It helps you bring in potential buyers, like bring in leads.
Oh, yeah. This house is good to go. Nothing needs to be fixed. We already got this cleared.
Yeah.
Bring your appraiser. We're not scared of this.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It shows you up front. Of course, they can get their own home inspection as well, but they're not going to find anything crazy that we haven't already found.
Right. Yeah. That's awesome. Can you check that? Sorry. Anyways, that's amazing. So you always worry about what might be going wrong with your house if you're getting ready to list it or whatever. And that's just a comforting thing. And it's not really expensive, right? Like,
it's not super expensive. I mean, it's really designed to save you money because we're going to find things that you can easily fix yourself.
Right.
You can hire a handyman.
Okay.
You have time to make the repairs, and if you're not in escrow 10 days to go, you're paying $5 for this. You know what I mean? The plumber knows you got to close escrow. Guess what? He's not giving you the good guy deal.
Right.
He's giving you a hurry up and make this shit happen.
All right, you need this to happen. It's going to be $1,500 instead of $300. Like, you want it fast.
Or it doesn't even mean that you have to fix it. Say it needs a roof and you don't want to repair the roof. You can't afford to repair the roof. Whatever. Right. We listed at X amount of dollars because we already know it has these problems.
Interesting. So you price out are you talking about you price out the fixes?
No, I'm saying the seller.
The house itself.
The seller.
Interesting.
It pretty much what it does is it takes the negotiation out of the buyer's hand and puts it in the seller's hand.
Oh, that's great.
So, never in the history of a home inspection has the price gone up after a home inspection. Right. Never. If something's wrong with the house, they either want it fixed,
right,
replaced,
right,
or fixed or replaced, or credit back, right?
Right.
So, if you do that up front, the Carfax up front, you already knew it has issues.
House facts. You gotta get it down.
Yeah. If you already get the house facts, this is why I'm at X dollars.
Right.
So I'm not coming down because of that. Yeah. So
Right.
it's like up front. You're telling them what you're willing to fix and what you're not willing to fix.
Essentially.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
This is my house.
Yeah.
I know what it's worth. This is great. I already fixed these things.
Exactly.
So then you don't have to go and do it. Then for anybody who's already FHA or whatever kind of loan has requirements, you already know you satisfied those.
Yeah, you literally can't lose. Like, so yeah, it's a few $100s up front, or we can bill you out of escrow if we need to.
Yeah.
You know? But you're saving thousands of dollars in those little nickel and dime repairs or last minute repairs or this body. It happens all the time. You get to the 2 days left of escrow and the realtor a lot of times ends up paying for this repair because they don't want the deal to fall apart.
That's 2 days before escrow?
I've seen it happen.
Really?
Yes. Lots of times. Yeah.
That's frustrating. Yeah. So, but why? Anyways, that was a different conversation.
That's a whole other.
Why only 2 days? But
yeah.
We're all good. So, how long have you been doing home inspections?
We started welcome home inspections in 2019. So we haven't been here a long time, but we're definitely...
You guys are badass.
We've taken over the high desert, that's for sure, yeah. We've got something like 255-star reviews or something like that, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Not paid.
Right. So you guys essentially came in and crushed it.
Yeah.
It's because you're thorough.
Yeah.
Right? You got two people. The last home inspection I had was only one person. So you have two people come every time and you go top to bottom.
Top to bottom.
Yeah. Which is absolutely.
If it's a huge house, we'll send more. Like, because we never want a real
like a task force.
Yeah, like literally. We don't want anybody sitting there for more than an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Right.
It's time is money, right?
Time is money. That's fantastic. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
So you've been doing this since 2019 in the high desert. In the desert, as we all know, it has some unique properties and all sorts of different stuff. What's the easiest one you've done? And then we're going to move on to the more fun stuff.
Well, obviously, like a brand new construction that's been put together well.
So construction still has to get a home inspection.
I would not buy a house. I would not allow anybody I love to buy a house without it.
Because new construction from these things, right? Like they're 8, 10, 9 times.
It's different, right? So new construction, you're not going to have a list of 50 items that need to be repaired. You're going to have a few, mostly cosmetic, but the big things that we find are high dollar. Yeah, like. Are
you allowed to say, or?
Yeah, I can say. Like, one time we went up in the attic, because that's what we do, and zero insulation. So
really,
a new home buyer would never know that until months down the road when they're like, "Why can't I cool my house?"
And they might not even know that at the time. Like,
they don't know.
They're not going to climb up in the attic. Oh, this looks right. There's no damage or anything.
So the big thing that we find the big things at the new builds, it's like that one time plumbing. So we stress test the plumbing. Like as if you're taking a shower, somebody's running the dishwasher, we're doing a load of laundry. Like we really stress that because nobody's lived there, right?
Right.
So one time we did this, we were upstairs, we walked downstairs, or my guy walked in from outside and screaming, "Whoa, what's going on?" And it's literally raining like the whole
way.
The whole
in a new build.
Brand new build.
What?
4 inches of water in the whole bottom floor. So imagine you didn't get an inspection, you moved all your new furniture in, and now you're moving out because you had
brand new flooring, brand new everything, and just 4 inches of water.
Yep.
Done.
Yeah. And a lot of people skip a home inspection because they have their own home inspections, right? And the city inspector comes out. But like you said, they're doing 5, 10, 15 in a row. They know that inspector very well. And it depends what kind of days that guy having. Like, it's fine.
He's like, about there. He's like,
for sure. So new build, I would never skip that. Ever. Really? And I would also, on a new build, every time I would do a sewer scope. So literally.
Really?
Yes, because
it's all new sewer, right? They have to, in order to build a new.
Imagine. So you've been to a lot of new construction.
Right.
Is it all landscape? Is there a lot of concrete?
No, it's not even landscape yet. They let them do that at the time.
And who's just driving over all that big trucks? So that pipe going to the septic or the sewer
has been dented or damaged.
We see it all the time. And that's thousands. Now you're talking $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 repair.
Yeah. Oh, easy.
Especially if you put concrete over it.
Holy smokes. That's very interesting. Yeah. That's good. So new builds.
So yeah.
Home inspector every single time.
Every month.
That's wild.
Yeah. I would never skip the home inspection. It was a big thing last year. Like everybody was waiving their inspection contingencies and like that was a bad. Not just because
so there might be a little bit of issue coming up here.
It's already started. I've already seen a lot of like litigation coming back to the seller, coming back to the realtor. Awesome. Yes, they sign off and all this, and all the realtors think, "Oh, that's great." But what I've seen in court, and I follow up on all this stuff, is you as the realtor are the professional,
of course,
and you are supposed to lead them. You know. Which
you have to do your fiduciary duty.
You have to do that. And even though they signed off and said, yes, I waived it, we're seeing litigations now against the sellers, against the realtors, against the brokerages, and it's just getting ugly.
Oh, no.
Because everybody was overbidding. Right. They didn't know what they were buying crap.
No contingencies, no nothing. We're just buying a house. Like,
yeah.
We're not fixing shit.
Yeah, it's so scary. And the other thing is, if like you call, a lot of people get that home warranty, right? Yeah. For a year or whatever.
Right.
So they're calling and saying, hey, my heater's out. And they're going to say, okay, did you do your home inspection? Send me the home inspection.
Because you have to have that in order to get it.
Right? They don't say you need it, but they are. I've seen they are starting to decline a lot. Well, how do I know it was working?
Right. Yeah, because there's proof. Until you get that 37 to what? All right, so what's the most pages in a report that you've printed?
Oh, man.
Because the one I got was 37. Now,
37.
That's a lot.
It depends how it's written. So our reports are quite lengthy, but it's a lot of information, a lot of tips, a lot. It's not just like deficiencies, 37 pages of deficiencies. Right. Yeah, I know. But I have had some, man, hundreds of deficiencies.
Really?
When that happens, I usually call the agent or the buyer, and I tell them, like, do we understand what we're buying here? Like, are we buying a fix and flip? Or what are we doing? Like, what's the end goal? Like, do you have a lot of money that you could dump in here? And then we'll have that conversation. And if they know, they know. And if they no, we'll kind of,
here's your 500-page report. Yeah. You need to fix all of these things in order to sell.
For sure.
That's crazy.
But most people know kind of what they're getting into, but I can't tell you that's not really true, because when people go around looking at homes, right, they're all excited.
Oh, yeah.
You got that either. You're like, I want, which house am I going to? They don't see anything.
Oh, no.
They don't see anything.
They see rooms, they see faucets, they see kitchen counters.
Especially if they have shiny new stuff. They're not seeing anything.
They're like, we're in
new paint?
100%.
Oh, yeah, that's a great house.
Yeah. It still smells
then
like
I get there, and then I'm like, oh, man, did you guys see this? No, we didn't see that. Oh, okay.
That's awesome. That's good, though. You provide comfort. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So you've been up here since 1999. What is the craziest thing you've ever seen that somebody like that you put on? You're like, I never thought I had to put this on my report. Or do you have anything like that?
Man, we see different stuff. Like literally every week, you're gonna find something. Somebody asked me the other day, like, "Oh, doesn't it get like routine and like don't you get bored?" And I was talking to my other inspectors. I was like, "Do you get bored doing this?" And he's like, "No, like I always find something new. Like not every house, but definitely every week you're gonna find something that you've never seen before, or you've only read about somebody else."
Right.
And, yeah.
Does it become like the what is it? Where's Waldo of home inspection? Like I'm gonna find something new.
Yeah. Like no, it's just like it's cool when you do find it, you know.
Right.
But, we see all kinds of weird stuff. A lot of times it will be like a rodent problem, like biting the wire and just done. I don't know if you saw on my social media, but there was a plug. It didn't work, whatever. We noted it, and there's a smell in the house too, and so they actually tore it apart to see what's going on. Literally, I think there was 3 or 4 dead mice attached to it. Attached to it. You haven't seen it?
Oh my gosh, yours.
Yes. And thank God that wasn't me, because I would have burnt the house down. Like, I don't give a shit. I'm burning this.
It was stuck to it.
stuck to it.
Oh my God.
Like crisp.
I thought that was...
That was, yeah. Not me, one of my guys.
No,
yeah, I would have.
That was what it was like.
I would have quit.
But yeah, it was nice.
That's okay. That's why I
send me pictures. Let's do this in a TikTok.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And I'm like, yeah. If that was me, that would not have been cool. So that was a good one. Funny. In the panel too, we find a lot of dead stuff in there.
Okay.
Just weird stuff too. Like in the attics, sometimes we'll find like just creepy, weird.
Yeah, you found all that, right? Like, what the hell is this? Has any of you guys like flicked it on and like Annabelle turns his head and like looks at him like,
I don't know about all that.
No, nothing.
I don't know what else.
So you service essentially the whole entire high desert.
Literally, yeah, that's a home basis high desert. But we'll go anywhere. Anywhere in Southern California in a reasonable area. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you like everything, right? Anything that's needs inspection, you guys will inspect real estate wise, right?
Yeah, real estate. We do commercial inspections. We do home inspections. We do mold and air quality.
You do air quality.
Yeah.
Testing. Okay. Yeah, interesting. And you do mold testing, or?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
We're certified in that. So any of that stuff, the sewer, we're working on a well because that's a big need up here.
Right. Oh yeah.
A good well.
Oh yeah. Everywhere.
Yeah, it's a big need. So we're working on that right now.
That's good.
Yeah, we're trying to get different things under our belts. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you should get everything.
Everything, right?
You guys are super thorough.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And once you get hold of something, then you can provide all of the services.
Correct.
Mold is a good thing to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Mold is funny. I hate to sell mold because I'm not a sales guy at all. Right. So I'm never gonna say, oh yeah, add a mold inspection. But we do have clients that we see mold. We can't say it's mold.
What do you call it?
We have to say it is possible microbial growth.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're certified. We know what it is. So,
right.
and mold is scary. But honestly, mold doesn't have to be scary.
Right.
So people are making thousands of dollars off of mold remediation when it doesn't need to be. So a lot of times we try to talk the clients off the roof, but the ones that I lived in this apartment and I have lung cancer and those are the ones that they want it tested. They want to know what it is.
Yeah.
And air quality is important too because it's what you don't see that's worse than what you do see under the sink.
Right.
Everybody's got a little bit of mold under their sink.
Absolutely. And that's one of the reasons people move up here to study air quality.
Yeah.
Like, up here is so much better than just down the hill.
Yeah.
Have you driven down the hill between like 7 and 9 lately?
It's terrible. Yeah. You feel it just looking at it.
That's funny. So that's one of the things, but that's good that you guys search and hold and all that stuff.
Yeah.
What is So I heard a story. I don't know if this is true or not.
I'll tell you.
Did you get locked under a house?
I did once, yeah.
So you didn't think so I'm scared of very little in this life, but the one thing that scares the shit out of me is spiders.
Oh yeah.
And my wife is in the background here and she will attest to that. I have to call her. I'm like, hey!
My wife, she comes kill my spiders too.
So, but you were under a house.
Okay, but yes, that was back when I had to climb under houses. I don't do that anymore.
Right.
But I suited up, like head to toe. Like,
so you guys have all the PPE.
Oh yeah, I'm not messing with spiders. No. And I crawled under, and it was one of those like it lifted up, and I put something there. And I don't know what happened.
Somebody kicked the stick, or
something happened.
The wind. It was in the scary.
And all of a sudden, I was stuck under there. Yeah. But I couldn't get it out. I couldn't push it. I don't know why. Just the way it was.
It was a scary movie about to happen.
For sure. Yeah.
Jason was probably like 3 blocks down.
Oh, totally coming
to get you.
Oh yeah. So I'm like, my dad was actually inspecting with me that day, and I'm like the kid under the house.
Yeah.
He's nowhere to be found. So my mom happens to call, just random, and I was like, whatever. Hey, Mom. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm at an inspection. I was like, I'm actually stuck under her house. Like, what? And I'm like,
oh, go Mama Bear.
Yeah. She's like, where's your dad? Somebody go get her out of the house. I'm like, Mom, I'm not dying. I can breathe. Like, there's air.
Yeah.
We're good. Like, he's gonna come. He has to come look for me sooner or later.
Right. He's gonna find you. Yeah. He's gonna find that stick that was kicked away.
Get my daughter out of the house. Yeah. I was like, I'm fine. But yeah, that is a true story.
That's wild. Oh my gosh, I would have freaked out. I have a little bit across.
It was a bigger space. Not big, but
bigger,
some of them are like, I barely fit, you know? Like, I gotta think skinny and crawl under. Yeah, this one, at least I fit. I can turn around.
Right,
yeah.
That makes sense. Did you see anything crazy down?
Yeah, that was a good one that I crawled under because way under there, the actual waistline again, the whole thing was, it was still running because the bottom was there, but the whole top was like gone. Like I could see the shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It was just rusted away, just
gone. Yeah. Oh, the cast iron just gone. It was an older home. I think it was Barstow. Okay. So yeah, it was just. I don't even know how it was not. It was still functioning.
It's just the path of travel, like electricity. Yeah. Electricity takes the least resistant path of travel. So
for sure,
that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But what's the craziest thing any of your guys have seen? Do you guys wear cameras, or do they have cameras with them, right? Because you take pictures.
Oh yeah.
Have they taken any pictures like that? No way,
dude. It's all the time though. Like it's all the time, so I can't even think of the craziest thing.
You see animals or snakes, or have they? You guys run across everything, right?
Yeah.
Like raccoons throwing gang signs.
Nothing like that. No, nothing like that. I'm trying to think of recently. Like to me, it's like normal now. Right. So it's like hard.
So it's all just natural. It's nothing like, oh look, there's a snake that's in the sewage line. That's not a big deal. I've seen that before. Not that actually happens, but
the last story that comes to mind is just like a dog that there was a gate there, and one was on the roof. And the other was trying to get the tenants to let him in, and the dog busted through the gate. And my guy on the roof said the guy on the ground literally just kept his butt by seconds. So that happened pretty recently. And we're good with animals, so I usually don't care. As long as they're. But this one busted through the gate to get him. Yeah.
Holy smokes.
That's crazy stuff. I can't, off the top of my head right now, I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah, for sure. So it seems like you enjoy this. And you got a crew, guys. How big is your crew? How many guys do you have?
I have 3 full-time inspectors. Myself, I inspect if I have to.
Right.
We've got operations. We've got customer service and growth. So there's 7 of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Yeah. So what made you want to get into home inspections?
That's a good question because I didn't when I grow up.
Right, it's not like I'm gonna inspect these homes. I'm gonna make sure people have the right houses. My grandma is never gonna move into
never. No. So actually, a good story is I came from the corporate world. Literally, I managed a whole crew of people from the whole Western United States, doing something completely different. So I was doing the service industry for a long time, running a whole bunch of stuff there. And the corporate world just kept chipping away at me, COVID happened. I had already started dabbling with home inspections because my dad's like, I'm getting tired of doing, digging ditches, climbing ladders every day, and he's getting older. And I was like, maybe.
Since you're doing that anyways, maybe we can just look at
my wife's a realtor, okay? Right. So, and all the inspectors that we've come across are okay, but I thought we could do it better.
Right. No,
I thought we could do it better.
That's the start of any business, right?
Yeah.
You see a need, you're like, I don't like the way they did this. I didn't like the way they did this. I could totally do this better.
Totally. So amazing. I was like, Dad, why don't you just be a home inspector? He was like, what? And I don't know if you know this, but in California, if you want to go be a home inspector, you go get in your truck and you're a home inspector tomorrow.
Really?
Scary, right?
All right, babe.
Yeah, literally. Get in the truck.
Yeah.
Tomorrow you're a home inspector. So that's scary. So I started doing some research and I was like, Dad, I'm pretty sure you can do this. You have a lot of experience. And he's like, no, are you sure? And I'm like, so I started looking into
because he knows
construction, electrical, commercial builds, home build. He built my childhood house.
Oh, fantastic.
So he's like, no, you have to be licensed. And I was like, I don't think so. So I just kept digging. And I was like, you don't have to be. And a lot of people up here aren't.
But you are, right?
Yeah.
That's the plus you have on everybody else. You decided to take the time.
So I feel it's super important. Come on, how are you going to sell something to somebody
You have to drive a car with a license. Like, there's a lot of things you need a license for.
So yeah, everybody who comes to my company is licensed, certified. Right. Okay, we're not licensed. There's no state license, but we're all certified.
Same thing. I didn't get my food handler's license when I worked at McDonald's.
So you don't even need insurance to be a homeless family. So you're on people's roofs, in people's attics, and just go for it, you know. And so, well, I just thought, hey, we could do this better. And and honestly, the way I see it is, if I can create a business, a company, do what I've always been able to do, you know, service industry, and I can bring people with me and enrich their lives and have them grow with me, why the hell not? Like, my company didn't give a shit about me, my family. COVID happened. Right. You know, people. Everybody under me got cut, and I was doing everybody's job, and they cut my pay. What? You know, and then when we could come back, they're like, "Oh, you can do this."
Yeah, you're already doing this.
Let's just hire one more person. I'm like, "But what about everybody we told we were going to bring back?" Like, I took a pay cut so that everybody else could come back. And I go, "Well, you're doing it, so we don't need everybody." I'm like, "Oh no." Like, they have families too,
right?
So
of course.
Like, yeah, I need to create something where I can create stability for my team,
right?
And however big we grow, right? And I think we're going to take over.
Yeah, for sure.
We're taking over Southern California.
You guys are crushing it. The fact that you're certified and that you went through the rigor mortis or whatever to do it.
Yeah, no.
Like, you went through the process to do it to enable yourself to serve your clients better.
Yeah.
Just shows a little bit like you care, which is what everybody looks for, right? Like, you want somebody. If I'm gonna have my mom move into a house, I would like somebody who is insanely thorough.
Yeah.
Like, even more than necessary, obviously. Because when she buys the house, if it's not a necessary fix for the loan or whatever, in the back of my mind, I want to know the things that I'm going to need to fix in the next 1 to 2 years.
Somebody's honey-do list, right? That's what we say. Like, this doesn't have to happen today, but you need to plan for it.
At some point.
You need to plan for it.
Right, because after X amount of years, you're going to need to.
Yeah.
So
if you don't want to replace the whole facial board, scrape it and paint it, please. Yeah.
That's
stuff like that, you know?
That makes sense. So you took it. You're at 7 employees now?
Yeah, 7 of us.
Which is fantastic. And they're all family members?
No. We started...
Most family members?
Most are, yeah. But just because you're family doesn't mean you fit our culture. We have a pretty strict culture.
That's right. But that's great. You have to have... I believe culture in a workplace means more than pay.
No, probably. For sure. So I'll rephrase that. They are all family now.
Okay.
Yes.
No, that's right. Obviously, you become part of the culture. You are family now. That's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
So where do you go from here? Obviously, you have your certification that you're working on. Yeah. What's the next thing after that?
So obviously, there was a lot of goals for this year that we set at the beginning of the year or the end of last year. We've hit most of those. The market's been pretty crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when real estate went crazy, we went crazy, right? Yeah. So it's kind of just we're at that stage right now that we're kind of regrouping, seeing where we're at, where we want to go, and set our goals for 2023. Holy crap!
We're already there. Like, we're in December, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew this or not. Have you ever been to shopping yet?
No.
You neither.
I think no.
That's fantastic. So.
Definitely on the plate is the well stuff. Mm-hmm. And pest is probably coming next.
Pest? Like termite?
Termite.
I just got one of the inspections.
Yeah. Okay. Because for the buyers or our clients or the sellers or the real estate agents, right, we want to make your job a little bit easier. So if you can call me and I can schedule.
You can essentially do all 3 in one.
Yeah.
That's why. And then you can charge a little bit more for the same amount of time while you're there. And life is easy because you have this.
Everybody wins. Yeah, I don't have to charge an arm and a leg. So everybody wins. Literally.
And it's 2 less phone calls.
Pretty nice. Yeah, so that's definitely next. We're definitely going to grow this year and in the next few years. And we'll be all over Southern California. And then after that, who knows? Arizona, Nevada.
Oh, you want to extend?
Yeah.
So that is the ultimate goal. You guys,
yeah.
At some point, are you trying to be nationwide?
I wouldn't say we're going to be nationwide.
West Coast-ish?
So wherever my team wants to go, if they want to move their family there, and I can.
Are all states like California where you don't? Well, I would assume. Really?
No.
Really? Is it like the opposite?
Yeah, like almost everywhere else you have
California requires licenses for everything.
Everything.
Except for home inspections, but everywhere else.
Stop and think about that. Who is pushing the agenda? Realtors and the car and all those people, they don't want it to be regulated.
Right. That's...
Or else we'd be regulated.
Right.
And we might be sooner or later, but we're not now. And we're like, so Texas, like free state, they're like, the most regulated home inspection.
Really?
The most. Like, it's crazy. Like, they tell you exactly how you're going to do your job. Cross your T's, cross your T's.
Dot your I's.
They're like the free stuff. And like, I go to conventions all over, and I go to different home inspection companies, and it's funny because we always say that. They're like, oh, you're from California. Yeah, you should be the most, and you have nothing. And I'm like, it's weird. Yeah.
But interesting.
Yeah. So, go figure. I don't know who's behind it, but if they need licensing, I'm all for it, because why don't we all do a better job together?
Right. That's why, because I know California commercial codes are like super extra because of all the fault lines and the earthquake zones and stuff like that.
Yes, but you don't have to be licensed to be a commercial inspector either.
Really? That's kind of wild. Interesting.
Scary.
Way to go, California. But that's good that you are still in California.
We are.
That gives comfort to anybody who uses you, obviously. And it's good to get, anytime you're buying a house, you want that comfort. You want to know from the basement where you might get stuck to the attic. Has anybody ever got stuck in the attic? I feel like it'd be super hot up there.
No stuck in an attic, and I don't even want to say. I'm not even going to say.
Okay. We'll just knock it with just because you thought about it.
We've had good attic experiences. we pay a lot of attention when we're in the attic, because one false move, and I'm waiting for the call. I know it's going to happen. Someday one of my guys is going to go through the...
No, it's not going to happen. We're knocking on one right now.
It's fake.
It looks like it. I knock on my head, so this is better than that.
I know it's going to happen someday, but I don't. I'm dreading that day. I came through the roof. Well, first of all, it's okay. Second of all, now we got to fix the roof.
Second of all, is you're like...
We need the drywall already stacked.
Yeah, that's it. I know drywall is, if you know. That's super funny.
Yeah.
So, we are kind of coming to the end of the program. Do you have anything you want to say to everybody out there? Do you want to plug this?
No, not necessarily. It's just, if you are in the process of buying or selling a home, it's always wise to get a home inspection. Obviously, it takes the liability off of you a little bit. You know what you're selling, what you're buying, and it's fair, right?
Right.
You want to be able to sleep at night.
Absolutely.
Just because, like I told you, just because you were ignorant, you didn't know about it,
that doesn't cover you in court.
The judge doesn't give a shit.
Right.
Yeah.
So, there you guys have it.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining into episode 3. Welcome Home Inspections. Cover yourself. Make sure you're comfortable. Be able to sleep at night. And we'll see you next time.